Hey everybody, Steve Burns from Criminolution.com here. So, looking at something from Nick, he wants to import this into Substance Painter, but he needs to also do his UV mapping in Blender first. So, what I want to do is take a look at your UV maps to see how well they look. I'm going to go into the UV editing. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the UV grid. I'm going to select the entire cabin, I guess I should say. All right, and then with everything selected, I'm going to hit the tab key to go to edit mode to look at all the individual UVs. Now, what Nick has done is it looks like he's organized it in for UDIMs, all right, which is multiple UV grids. Nick, I don't believe Substance Painter supports UDIMs yet. Adobe has been telling us that it's right around the corner, that it's coming. I'm not quite sure. I could be wrong, but I'm not sure if it supports UDIMs yet. So what I prefer you to do is to set up each of these, each of the objects within the individual UV grid that you have here. Okay, so basically, if let's go back to object mode and let's go back to get out of X-ray view. Let's target the roof, for example. Go to my edit mode and you can see the roof is down here because that was how you organize it for your UDIMs. For now, just go ahead and select all, go to your UV, and then come over here and pack those islands. And I have scale but not rotate selected, so go ahead and click OK, and it'll automatically pack them into the island. So work with your objects this way for now. And then I'll do a little further research because I'm pretty sure that that Substance Painter doesn't quite yet support UDIMs, okay? All right, now, once you've done all of this, do not forget to texture your object, all right? Because you got to give each of the objects a texture name, so that when it brings it into Substance Painter, it becomes a texture set. So right now, I don't believe, I'm going to go ahead and go to Object View. As I select on each one, and I'm down here in my Materials tab, the materials for whichever object that I'm clicking on is not coming up, which means you do not have materials applied yet. So make sure you apply materials first. You don't have to actually put materials in it, but you have to give it a name, right? Create a material name for that particular object. So what we'll do next, I'm going to go over here to modeling mode. Let's go to X-ray mode, select everything, and then we're going to export this out. So file menu, export, and I'll just go with OBJ to keep it simple, and we'll call it Nick House OBJ. Okay, and then make sure all is selected, and apply modifiers is on. Then I'm going to export it out. All right, so now let's go into Substance Painter, and let's create a new file. So file menu, new. We'll say 2048. Now here's the catch. This is not working. The use UV tile workflow, to utilize your original UVs. Normally, it looks like it should be checked, but there's a bug. I'm assuming this is a bug in Substance. Uncheck this. Just get it out. That way, it's not going to cause problems, and it should import your Blender files fine. Go to select. There's the Nick House right there. OBJ. Double click it. Click OK. Leave everything else default. And there she is. Okay. There she is. The house is intact. Now take a look at your texture set list. You have no texture sets. So that the texture sets are coming from the naming of your materials, right? So if I take an object, say, or texture, let's say something like this here, and drop it on the house, the entire house gets textured because Substance is seeing this entire house as one complete texture set because you did not set it up inside a Blender for individual objects. So just an FYI. All right, cool. So hopefully that was helpful. UDIMs, I understand, is coming. Support is coming around the corner. Adobe's been promising that for a while, so keep your eye open for it. But right now, I don't believe it does. I could be wrong. They could have just introduced it, and I'm not aware of it. But it as far as I'm aware of, UDIMs are not quite yet supported. Okay, so hopefully this was helpful. More to come. Steve Burns from Criminalisten.com. I'm signing off.